Van life used to be unavoidable. No matter where you went on the internet, you were guaranteed to run into a photo of some brim hat hippies holding up interstate traffic in a Westphalia. I actually remember the first photo that introduced me to the idea of sleeping in a van. It was a photo that quite literally changed my life. One of my friends had just bought a clapped out Chevy Astro van and threw a sketchy bed platform in the back. I remember he planned on driving it down to Mexico and living on the beach for a few weeks. Now, I've got a dirtbag skateboarder that lives rent-free in my soul, and I remember this idea seemed pretty good to him. But before I could even buy my first van, something significant had changed in the whole culture of the van life movement. What used to be a sort of all-access pass to incredible adventures on a budget slowly morphed into how indistinguishable can a van be from a Ritz-Carlton hotel room. The overall tone of van life used to be, look how good life can be even if you don't have a lot. Unfortunately, as the trend gained popularity, that tone became more like, look how nice my recreational thing is. Now, there's nothing wrong with having a nice van. I still really want a Sprinter someday, for sure. But the question is, if vans are getting nicer and fancier and cooler, why does it seem so much less magic all of a sudden? The answer is pretty obvious if you just YouTube search van life. While you'd hope most of the videos would be about meaningful experiences, predominantly it's just like sink installation tutorials. And that's cool and everything, but I just got another van. I know, I'm sorry, it's getting out of hand. This is the last one, I swear. It's a long story, okay? Shut up. But I'm just not gonna do anything crazy to it. In fact, I have a way better idea. There's no disputing the fact that van life is totally dead. Completely. It's over. We've had our fun, but it's done. And it needs a trend to replace it. So I'm going back to where it all began, to the origins of van life. I'm gonna make this exact setup in my van, and then I'm gonna go out on my own and single-handedly create the next trend that's gonna fully eclipse what van life once was. Let's go! So I just got a box in the mail. And this is a particularly exciting box because it contains everything I need to fulfill my ultimate van life dream of having a sketchy bed platform in the back. It's gonna be just like the picture that started this whole shebang. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited! Wow. The picture of luxury. I have to chop the end off because it hangs off like 1.5 feet. I bet this mattress wishes it was forget foam so that it wouldn't have to relive this pain. I don't know what made me think this was a good time to do this. It's like 1 degree out. My hands are... I spared no expense on the blanket. I got it on sale. Is that what that means? Well, I've got some disappointing news. My bed platform looks way better than the one that I based it off of. Darn it, you know, I wanted it to look just like the original. I guess this'll have to do. I didn't really make a plan for how I was gonna discover this new trend. My planning pretty much ended at drive to Utah. So what I always do when I'm looking for something and I don't know where to start, I try and get a new perspective, which is why I'm taking a page out of my good friend Jake Frew's book, and I'm gonna climb up to the highest point I can see and hope some good comes of it. I decided to bring my bike, which is gonna be awesome for the way down, and hopefully on the way up, I'll be able to just pedal right up there, get to the top, take a look at the vista, make some decisions and get some clarity on my mission and the purpose I'm out here for, and then just shred on down. It's gonna be no big deal. And then I can pop on down the highway to Moab. But right off the bat, it kind of turned out to be a big deal after all. This whole thing started out funsies, gamesies, like just a challenge to start the trip off with. And it's starting to get real. I am exhausted. The mud is getting chunked up on the tires, which makes the bike like twice as heavy as I'm pushing it up. Like my wheel won't even spin because there's so much of this clay. I did my best to keep pushing through, but then something really disappointing happened. I just came around the corner and saw that the rest of the trail is completely made up of that awful, awful mud. This is totally not like me, but I'm giving up. The top's right there, like, and I'm giving up. Even though I didn't make it to the top, the place I wound up was beautiful. I kinda wished I could have stayed there all night long. Before heading down, I took an epic selfie. Even though, deep down, I didn't feel very epic. Not even when I was laying the gravy down on that buttery spine. Well, I just got back to the van, and if I look a little disheveled and discouraged, I'd say that's because I am. I didn't get to the top. I don't feel any closer to totally annihilating van life and replacing it with something new. This is just not going how I expected it to so far. But we're only on day 1 of 2, so maybe tomorrow something incredible will happen. What I didn't know then is that the next day something incredible would happen. I would discover the replacement to van life. But until then, I still had some challenges to face.
The first night in the new bed went really well. I slept like a rock, and there was no moon last night, so it was like crazy amounts of stars. It was incredible. But I almost wish I could have just ripped the whole roof off the van and seen it all, because the little window I had was good, but not as good as it could have been.
After waking up, I ran into town to run some errands. And it was here that I had a profound realization. I can't do this alone. Like, I'm starting to get lonely. I feel like I'm not making a lot of progress on my goal. I didn't choose this. This chose me, okay? I found a little companion, and his name is Danico. And Danico is everything I ever wanted in a road companion. So whatever I do today, whatever adventures I get up to, I'm taking Danico with me. I started the day with a nice desert skate sesh and made plans for what Danico and I would tackle next. But the truth is, I didn't really know what to do, and I was starting to lose my enthusiasm. Okay, I can't help but feel like I'm kind of losing the plot here. I guess I'm gonna go on a hike with Danico, and maybe that will give me some clarity as to what could replace van life. I don't know. This is all very abstract at this point, and I'm just having a really hard time with that. There you go, brother. So me and my boy started hiking. He got to hang out with some of his old relatives, and I'd be lying if I said it didn't feel good to be out there. I just didn't really feel like it was going anywhere. But even so, we kept hiking, and all of a sudden, we came across something magnificent. It truly was a sight to behold. A real beautiful sight. And it was as we saw that sight that you don't see every day that I looked down at Danico sitting next to me, and I realized something. Danico didn't need much. He didn't need a sink. He didn't need a bed platform. All he needed is what he could carry with him. And that's when I put all the pieces together. I had discovered the new trend to replace van life. And here's what I came up with. Forget the bed platform. What about a portable, inflatable bed? That way you could do it anywhere, and you'd never have to worry about a van roof covering your view. And if there's bad weather in the forecast, instead of bringing an entire van, you just bring a portable van interior type thing that also packs down small. I mean real small, like fit in a backpack small. Words to describe this trend include convenient, amazing, magnificent, perfect, immaculate, nice, and great. Not to mention way more accessible. There you have it, the next big thing. I think it's really got a shot of taking off. All I ask is that if you ever try it, just remember, I invented it.